Wow. What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything that she deserves.
Right.
But, yeah.
Fluff.
What do I look like? I looked in the mirror earlier at school once I came in from all that cold, and all I could see was these two lines.
Okay.
They looked so deep earlier.
It's because
And
you're
I'm
probably
like,
frowning.
was I
at those
laughing?
kids. No,
or,
frowning.
Or was it so cold that I was scrunching my face?
It was freezing. It was painful.
They were so deep.
I got back after the run.
How do you fix that?
Botox. I got back after the run and I was like, I need a bath, and I actually shampooed my hair, because when I took it out the ponytail, it stayed in the ponytail. I was like, it's definitely time for a shampoo, but I didn't want it down, so I just tied it. I cut about an inch and a half off tonight as well. I'll give it a trim every birthday.
Inch and a half.
About that much. So it's my birthday, innit? So I was like, cut that off. It's still very, very long, but it feels short to me now. We're like, oh, I'm practically bald.
I look dead. I look dead today.
I got a makeup, I always do. Not face makeup, blusher, mascara, bit of eyeliner.
No eyeliner.
I am tired though. I'm very tired. I just like can't get out of this tiredness. Like last night I fell asleep quite early, and I'd had a nap in the day, so...
I felt this earlier. I was like, last year we were just so fucking busy.
Yeah. I feel like it's caught up.
I feel like maybe it's just caught up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sad. I'm not in a bad place. I'm just tired.
Yeah, I'm tired and a bit of a hermit. Like I'm good just chilling, doing my own thing. I still want to do stuff.
Are you going to go for a drink at all this weekend?
No.
No?
No. I don't want to. I just don't want to. You don't want to.
No Weatherspoons.
Don't want to. Just want to chill. Do my thing.
Mm.
Wonder if the council's ever going to come and do the work after I've stripped my lounge back. You know, that sort of thing. They said they'd email, but nothing. So I'm going to have to email them on Monday and be like, you said it's starting this week. So what day's that then? I've stripped the lounge like you asked me to. This week coming.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Alfie freaking out. I'm just like, well, it's not that I don't want you back. It's just there's no room for you to come back to.
Yeah, please not this week.
Yeah, come have a breakdown next month. He said the whole cookie thing doesn't help, but he'll be all right.
He will be all right.
Yeah, that's what I said to me. He'll be all right. Just I feel like he'd be better if he got himself a girlfriend. I'm like, get yourself a girlfriend, mate.
Bide your time. You know, just...
Well, it just makes you feel like you belong a little bit more, do you know what I mean? Rather than being on your own all the time. Poor boy. Right, you're starting today. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Middle Aged Opinion.
I wasn't ready, hang
on. Everyone's my witness. She said, oh, it was you that suggested the title for the What's Been Inside Me. And I'd forgotten what you suggested and called it someone else.
I feel like I just said
you said, and I was like,
and
oh
you're
my
like,
god, yeah.
So I didn't suggest
But the idea
anything.
came from you. You put the idea in my head.
I put it in your head.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I rolled with it.
This is what we should.
Well, that's one of my favourite episodes ever. It's so funny. Right, anyway, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hello everyone and welcome to Middle Aged Opinion. I'm your host Ellie.
And I'm your host Emily, and today we are looking at mother-in-laws from hell.
Yeah.
Hellish mother-in-laws.
Yeah. Did you have a mother-in-law from hell?
I don't feel like I had one from hell. I got on really well with her, I felt, anyway.
Yeah.
But she certainly had her ways about her that, there was a few things that I was like, no, I don't agree.
Yeah.
But she wasn't awful.
So my mother-in-law, I wouldn't say was awful to me, more awful to my husband. And I'd say just, I could never understand the parenting.
No, I think if she was still alive, I'd be like, we probably wouldn't be friends.
No, yeah. But I think the way that things happen with Paul is just says everything that needs to go. But not so much towards me, more towards her son.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, you are kicking us off.
Am I going first?
I'm wondering if we've got the same. There were some really good ones. I enjoyed this. it was easy to read and get through. I know you just clicked off. The internet's gone down.
It's because I closed the door too much.
But yeah, I didn't struggle with this.
So gay.
It's okay.
Come on.
Ta-da!
La, la,
Ah.
saved, open.
Oh, you saved loads.
No, I didn't. I might have.
You saved loads. Loads
I always
and
enjoy
loads.
this one though. I do really enjoy this one.
So do I, but that's fucking loads, mate.
It's a little bit
I
long,
say
this one.
4.
But this one's a little bit long. I think I've saved 6.
Okay.
Because I was worried that what if we had 3 the same?
I mean, it
what was
could
going on in my
happen.
head. I mean, it hasn't.
Not yet, but we have had some the same, babe.
Yeah, but we're not. But we've had enough to go
Around.
it. Okay, so my mother-in-law is insane.
I mean, mine. She's writing about mine.
It's come from. Sorry, it's come from mother-in-law from hell on Reddit. So I appreciate coming to Reddit commentary that it literally set up to discuss mother-in-law from hell. So I appreciate the bar is somewhat set already, but I come to you with this Christmas highlights of 48 hours with my mother-in-law from hell. In no particular order, largely because I cannot decide which is the most insane example.
Oh, dear.
Announcing that Christmas is ruined because brother-in-law, the vegetarian, hosted and served a vegetarian feast.
Okay.
Ruined!
Yes, ruined the whole Christmas. Although I'd miss the
Ruined.
meat, I'm not going to lie.
I really love the veg at Christmas. I
Do
think it's because I
you?
don't have veg
Loads
so
of veg,
often.
yeah.
So actually, I really enjoy veg.
I'm happy with veg. I just don't feel like... I feel like I'd miss the meat.
But I like the bacon that's on...
The sausages.
No, that's not that's not vegetable, is it?
Yeah.
In sprouts, I always
That
put
sounds
sprouts.
amazing, yeah. I'd sometimes do that.
Always
And bacon
bacon.
with
Actually, I have
sausages.
bacon. I have pork on everything.
Beef,
actually,
yeah,
on the
beef,
turkey.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
bacon on the bacon.
I just love that. I love the taste of meat, so I would miss it. I wouldn't say it'd be ruined, but I'd definitely would be
ruined
missing.
is insane.
Yeah.
Insisting that her vegetables were boiled and not roasted because they might be roasted in goose fat. I roasted for the first time in goose fat this year.
It is a game
It
changer.
was good. My potatoes were good.
It is a game changer. We buy that as well, and duck fat.
Only at Christmas though.
Yeah, no,
but
yeah.
they were good.
Look, we're getting so excited. I'm thinking
Can't wait
about
for
my
Christmas.
Toby. Ooh.
I've been trying to bribe
Getting
people with
everything.
that. I'm like, we've booked a Toby after if you want that.
Yeah. I mapped
got
on
sent
our
some
way
links.
home because there's one that isn't that far away, but this is on our way back.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Right. Anyway, back to your story.
Right.
Sorry.
Sorry. Having a tantrum on discovering that there were 2 bottles of red wine to accompany Christmas lunch and not a bottle of red and a bottle of white. She doesn't drink.
Okay. Fucking insane.
Similar tantrum on discovering that we bought cider with us because they bought cider too and father-in-law wanted beer. Again, she doesn't drink and father-in-law was not remotely bothered. Provided a massive stocking full of Santa presents for our 3-year-old, only biological grandchild. I have a 17-year-old also. In our house, Santa brings small treats, books and candy, and proper presents are from friends and family. So 3-year-old got the usual stocking from us, plus a surprise second stocking from Santa. 3-year-old had a vomiting bug on Saturday and Sunday. 17-year-old then got sick on Monday. We travelled on the Tuesday. 17-year-old was sick just once and gets regular migraines that cause vomiting, and as they were fine on the Tuesday morning, we opted to travel as planned. Mother-in-law behaved as though we had travelled with both Ebola and Zika?
Yeah. Zika virus.
Is it Zika?
Yeah.
With a side of COVID thrown in. responded again with that we had ruined Christmas.
Yeah, this bitch.
And that if she caught it, she would need to be hospitalised.
Oh, I'd be licking the
due
rim
to
of her glass.
medical issues. Her only actual medical issue is hysterical hypochondria. As per above, if we had made the decision not to travel, we would have also ruined Christmas. So we were in a no-win situation. We were accused of not putting enough thought into their presents. We bought them both vouchers, which is exactly what they asked for.
Fucking hell.
Our received presents clearly had a lot more thought put into them. Father-in-law transferred us each £20 whilst we unwrapped our other gifts. Cheers, Dad.
Yeah.
Brother-in-law doesn't have a TV licence. They've got a little explanation of that for those who don't know. It's an outdated requirement in the UK to watch certain channels that lots of people don't bother with anymore. Given the huge variety of streaming TV channels now, very much a hangover from when we used to have 3 channels and no internet. This meant mother-in-law couldn't watch her programmes over Christmas. Again, ruined Christmas. We bought the wrong party food and she couldn't eat any of it. She was just being difficult for the sake of being difficult. Sounds like that was her objective of the day.
I feel like it's her MO in life. She's a Karen.
Brother-in-law doesn't have a microwave. I'm pretty sure this is just to wind up his parents at this point.
Yeah.
It is an issue on every visit. Mother-in-law took my partner aside before we left and told him she is bitterly disappointed in him and me because of all the gigs we take our 3-year-old to. It's all over Facebook and everyone is talking about it and it's embarrassing.
Yeah, massively.
For the record, we go to a lot of gigs. It's our thing. Our 3-year-old has been to 1 gig ever, and acoustic family focus gig 2 years ago. We also take her to a family friendly music festival every year. Mother-in-law was so upset about this, she refused to speak to us again before we left and refused to say goodbye to any of us, including her only grandchild. So yeah, that was less than 48 hours with the in-laws this Christmas. Brother-in-law has already booked to leave the country next Christmas and will likely be working. And I will likely be working. If not, we will also be leaving the country.
I think the mum-in-law is just hell-bent on being miserable no matter what the situation.
Weren't it just?
Just no matter what, babe. Whether it's Christmas or Easter, there's a problem no matter what.
I just don't get people like that. Why can't you be happy that your family's all together?
Just miserable no matter what.
You're eating.
And while we're on the subject, TV licence, they've just changed the rules for that, haven't they?
I don't know.
Netflix, any of it, you now have to have a TV licence.
I think if you have a TV and you watch
TV,
yeah,
you got to have a TV licence now. They've just changed it.
And it's gone up a little bit, hasn't it?
I don't know. Paul pays for that. I don't pay for that. Direct debit, he pays for that. But yeah. I think no matter what the circumstance, she is miserable no matter what and doesn't find joy in anything. And can you imagine being around that all the time?
No, I'd be like, mate, go home.
Like, cheer up.
Like, I feel like I would have to get someone to make her a special cake.
Yeah.
And maybe that would chill
that says
her out.
Stop being a cunt.
No.
Oh.
A special cake. A special cake.
Oh, I mean, that would be hilarious.
That would be more fun, wouldn't
That
it?
would be hilarious, yeah.
Not vegetarian.
But I also feel like she's not treating, because the 17-year-old, I'm assuming, is from a previous relationship, and I'm getting the feeling that that child is not treated in a similar way.
Yeah, because a couple of times it was her only grandchild.
Yes, biological
which is a bit
grandchild.
shite.
Yeah, because they are brother and sister, and that child is part of the family now, whether she likes it or not. But she does give no matter what you're doing, there's no satisfaction.
No, she. What a shame.
I know.
Because I bet she doesn't see them all year long.
That's
she
what
has
I
to
mean.
stalk them on Facebook, and then she's embarrassed by
I
that
don't
as
get
well.
the gig thing, because it's perfectly normal to take your child to a gig. I mean, some people take their children to Glastonbury.
So many family friendly
Yeah,
gigs now.
yeah, and she needs to mind her own business. What's top comment?
Your mother-in-law is really out to lunch. What a killjoy. I would neither invite nor join her in any holiday party ever. I'd also restrict or unfriend her from your Facebook, since she claims she's so offended and embarrassed by what she sees. Yeah. And then the next one says, wow, I don't blame you for making other plans now. What an idiotic woman. She won't be happy next year either, when no one is there at all. In fact, she sounds like she doesn't know how to be happy or appreciative about anything or anyone. She needs to learn how to count her blessings instead of her criticisms. Good idea to give her plenty of space to do that. Lol.
There's nothing they can do for that, though. She is just generally a miserable person that finds fault in everything.
Yeah.
There is no way around it at all, unfortunately.
No, OP replied and said, one of my friends summed it up perfectly. It must be exhausting being that miserable all of the time. And I think she's absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a out and out miserable woman.
Do you think, a slight flip, do you think that her children have left home and gone their own ways, or making like their own choices, that actually she feels just out of control of her her family, that she's just sniping at everything, that actually it's not because she's hideous, but it's because she's lonely?
Maybe, but that is not the way to get your family back, is it? Do you know what I mean? I can imagine, because we both have boys, so we are going to be the mother-in-law, which generally falls under my mother-in-law, and I'm hoping that I'm not like any of these women. Can I say for definite no? But I'm hoping that I'm not like, my little baby boy, you're doing it all wrong. But I don't know, because obviously I'm not in that situation, but it worries me. Because I don't want to be one of those bitter, twisted, I want to be fair's fair. Like, she's got her family, Alfie's got his family, and hopefully we can all come together. But
Alfie, it's you, mate.
Yeah, it's you. I don't know, he's the one that gives me the whole, like, when he meets someone, it's going to be, like a deep thing, because he's quite a deep boy. Right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Right. Mother-in-law freaked out at the hospital. My wife gave birth 2 days ago via C-section. She is in rough shape, and it's been 36 hours of no sleep. Her mother lives close by and always has been rude and abusive with the fuck you attitude to everyone. I have tolerated this over the years, and I see her frequently because we live very close to her. Today she came into the hospital 30 minutes before visiting hours. I was shirtless holding our 2-day-old baby, doing skin-to-skin contact on the chair. And she comes into the room, holds her keys in front of me and says, I parked the car up front, you need to go and move my car. To which I said, no, I'm holding our baby. She then went on to berate me, calling me an arsehole, telling me you do what I tell you to do whenever I tell you to do it. She goes on to be extremely passive aggressive and nasty to me, even when I try to calm the situation down and reason with her. My wife starts to cry and tells us both to stop. I am floored by the situation and decided to leave the hospital, telling my wife I will not be in the same room as her mother. I am so frustrated that her mother brought so many negative attitudes to what should have been such a wonderful time for me and my wife, and I have and that I have together with our newborn. She texts me later in the day to apologise, but I cannot get over this in my head. I never want to see her again, but of course I will have to put up with it and see her the next day. How do I get over this and move on for myself? I hate that I feel angry and I just want everything to go back to being happy and joyful.
She destroyed one of those very first core memories, didn't she?
She destroyed a really, really special moment. Because a lot of dads don't get the same
buzz.
Yeah, but they don't get like, it's not like when we have a baby, we hold the baby first of all and all of that sort of thing. That was a really special moment for him. And she's like, move my car. Bang.
Do as you're told.
Yeah. I just don't know who the fuck
I feel like
she
I'd be
thinks
like,
she is.
sorry, to what?
Yeah.
Where's that button? You'd be buzzing the midwife, please get her out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get her out. Buzz.
Yeah, but I feel sorry for the
Help.
woman as well, because she doesn't want this conflict. Do you know what I mean? So it makes me feel sorry for her because she don't know what to do, does she?
It would have been easier to say, Mum, leave.
Yeah.
Don't come
Mum,
in here
go
like
move
that.
your own car. Don't start.
Yeah, come back in a minute.
Yeah, when you've cooled down. Right, so top comment
Outrageous.
says, you're literally, your kid can't grow up with witnessing such toxic behaviour. A serious conversation with your wife is needed. Maybe suggest therapy, couple sessions, but right now focus on her postpartum recovery and the baby's well-being. Limit mother-in-law visits at the home and make her leave immediately if she misbehaves. Cross the lines of disrespect if she has any towards yourselves. Your mother-in-law is an a-hole with control issues, which is playing power games. Show her that you will not tolerate her bad behaviour anymore.
Yeah, serious.
I feel like, again, that's an easier said than done thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because
we all know what needs to happen here.
yes.
But it just isn't.
And this is coming from his point of view. We don't know the relationship between the daughter and the mum, whether there's any toxicity there and how she copes with...
The image I'm getting is she's swung in, do my car, give me my baby.
Yeah,
I feel like it's and
yeah.
I think if he had
like an entitled thing.
If she had the baby and he hadn't, I think maybe she would have gone here and she would have had everything she wanted.
Of course.
But that weren't the situation, and actually she got put back in her spot.
Yeah. And the thing is, had she come in the room and said, oh, love, I parked the car out the front, would you mind moving it for me? Again, that is a completely different scenario.
But even walk in, read the room first and be like, oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what?
Yeah.
And he could have been like, give me a minute and I'll do
it.
Not even can you.
That's what I'm saying. It's the attitude.
Not even asking.
Yeah, she's gone in. She's gone in with a really negative vibe, a negative aura, a negative vibe, and that's what's happened. She's gone in. She's like, bitch, and he's like, who the fuck? Who the fuck? You see, I get like that. You're like, no,
don't do that.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, someone comes in, like, and does that to you. I'd be like, get the keys and chuck them in her face. I remember, I can't go fully into it, but when Paul was in hospital, it's quite funny.
She says,
now. Yeah, now. And Lisa had come all the way down from Hastings, and I couldn't relax. So this was the day they were taking out the breathing tube. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I spoke to you about it at the time. So they're taking out the breathing tube. They don't know if Paul's going to be able to breathe for himself because often the lungs can collapse. So anyway, we're not allowed in there, and I'm waiting, and I'm laying on Lisa's lap, and then somebody goes, oh my God, French, this is an example because I can't say it. French just text, look, Ellie, look, Ellie, look at that. And I was, when you're like, because I don't care if the Queen has text, right? I am like, bear in mind the people that I'm talking about that text didn't bother phoning, coming up, nothing. I couldn't give a tiny rat's fucking arse, yeah? And I'm laying there and I'm trying to, and Lisa's not saying anything, which is not like Lisa. Do you know what I mean? And then I take the phone like that and I go, yeah, that's great. Lisa said to me, I thought you were going to fucking lob it across the room. But I was so angry. I was so angry because I thought, how can your mind be anywhere but on the situation that's happening now? And people are so strange in situations like read the room. Like you say.
People are.
But it was like that. It was like, look. And I was just laying there like, oh my God, I'm going to kill him. It's you that's going to be in intensive care. You are the next person in intensive care.
You're worth the time I will do in prison.
It was funny because me and Lisa were talking about this not that long ago, and I said, I don't know how you, because she's not the calmest.
No, she's not.
I was like, I don't know how you stayed so calm. She was like, because you were I'm never on the edge. If you know me, it takes a lot, doesn't it, for me to... She was like, you were ready to get arrested. She was like, so I was remaining calm before you made him eat it. And I was like, all right, fair play. Down the throat. Someone else can't breathe.
might have even waited a few minutes to tell someone.
Yeah, but that is the kind of story it's giving me. Read the room, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, people have different emotions, and you are in there stating it's all about me when it's actually nothing to do with you.
Yeah, my grandchild, me.
Yeah. Yes, it is your grandchild, but your son-in-law is sitting with their baby.
Yeah, having a real special bonding moment.
Yeah, I do like that story. It's so funny. Good times. It was well funny, babe. Now we look back.
It's a now situation.
Yeah, now we look back. Yeah,
someone might have died.
Yeah, now we look back. We're like,
full.
I was just like, I don't know how you were so calm. And she's like, because I had to be. She was like, I could feel like, she was like, your whole body was like, mate. And look, they text. Who gives a fuck? Where are they? They don't give a fuck. Fuck off. Good times.
Anyway,
yeah, so, moving on.
We're going to move on to it. Like bringing up bad memories. It's okay. It's okay.
But you, like, getting stressed about that made that go in my mind. Yeah, because I'd be the same.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, it just reminded me of that story because I was like that. I was like...
People are nuts, aren't they?
Yeah, people are fucking nuts, babe. Because I feel like I'm the kind of person, you're the kind of person, pretty much our whole group, it takes quite a lot to reach that limit. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're quite tolerable. And in any relationship we've had, we've been very welcoming and open and tolerant. So for someone to push you to that place where this man is, tells you... enough's in, yeah, because you're like, it's not as simple as going fuck off. It's not. It's harder than that because you've got to think of the other person. It'd be like your ex-husband and your mum. He has to then think about the feelings of your mum and how that's going to affect your relationship. And I think a lot of these stories, it's the same in that no matter what's going on, that child of that mother-in-law being, depending on whatever side, is always affected. It's hard. Okay, anyway, that's the therapy over for today.
I feel so much more relaxed now.
Yeah.
Literally blind with rage right now.
There you go.
It's not about you. This is something else.
That was a good day.
My monster-in-law from the depths of hell is making me blind with rage. My husband, 29 male, and myself, 29 female, have been together for 8 years with 2 kids. 3 years ago, we relocated to his hometown to be closer to his family and to his and his children's culture. They are First Nations.
I don't know what that means. Shall I Google it?
Means. First Nations?
I feel like that gives me America, but I bet you it's not.
I feel like it's some sort of American cult. Sorry.
We've got First Nation Bank.
Maybe
What shall I say?
culture. Right. His mother and I, in the beginning of our relationship, did not get along as she didn't like that I was white.
Okay.
Over time, I thought...
I've got it. They're the first mountain men. First European to enter the area. Like Yellowstone and all that. So, I want to say indigenous.
I'm going to say of colour, because she's saying mother-in-law didn't like her because she was white.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so indigenous.
Over time, I thought we had developed a relationship to some extent. Well, today I have learnt that not only are we not okay, that she's an actual horrible person. 2 weeks ago, mine and my husband's, oh, I hate that. My husband and mine vehicle. Oh, God, that's
You're
wrong.
confusing me.
Anyway, I'll read as it is.
Yeah.
Mine and my husband's vehicle broke down.
Right.
For eternity. So we decided to finance 2 used vehicles as that was the best option for us. I have only credit. I have okay credit. He has no credit. So his mum offered to co-sign on his vehicle, a truck. My friend, Doug, just so happens to be a salesman that gets wicked good deals for people that are rebuilding their credit. So we applied through him. The bank called and said they would give us a better rate if myself, my husband and my mother-in-law, I'm going to call her Rachel, went on the contract, and that in 12 months after positive payments, Rachel and I could come off and the truck and off of the truck, and she would come off the SUV. She agreed. I was so thankful to her and told her how gracious she was being. Doug sent over the paperwork to sign, and we have Rachel on speakerphone. He starts telling us the payments, and I'm literally amazed because they are dirt cheap. Then Rachel backed out. I was like, okay, no biggie, I will pay more for the SUV, but my husband needed her for the truck still. The next day, Doug calls her to follow up and let her know that they just got a trade-in on a different truck which fits what my husband was looking for, better, same price. She then tells Doug we need a neutral third party. Doug was confused because he is a literal stranger to her, so he has a colleague come sit in on the call, where she says, that bitch doesn't deserve an SUV. Her rich parents can buy anything cash. They are retired, living in a 2-bedroom condo. She spent all the money raised for her on GoFundMe on herself while my grandchildren suffered. I was paralyzed last year in hospital for 6 months, diagnosed with terminal illness. I also was in a hospital where no delivery services were available, so it would have been impossible to spend $5,000 all on myself. She's trying to rip me off on the truck, is what the mother-in-law just said. Doug literally offered a 2023 Ram for $35,000 and to pay her $2,000 upon signing. Her parents don't love and respect my grandchildren. I would never buy anything from one of her friends. I don't even know what or how to feel right now, apart from embarrassment, anger and anxiety. I'm already looking at us moving. I mean, they got a little bit confusing with who was saying what.
So I think I've got it. So the daughter-in-law and the husband were buying 2 trucks. The husband's got bad credit, so he needed the mum and the wife to co-sign on the loan to get the truck.
He was getting the truck, she was getting an XUV, yeah.
So the mum then changed their mind and said, that bitch is trying to rip me off, and her mum and dad have got so much money they can buy anything cash.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm right.
So,
but is the truck £35,000?
35k, yeah.
Fucking hell.
For
so they
are
the first. They are the First Nation community in indigenous people in Canada. That's that they are.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
But they are indigenous, so like a tribe. Do you know what I mean?
So basically,
did you get a bit confused
only when it was
when she switched
who was saying what? Because she wasn't.
So the mum-in-law doesn't like her because she's white.
Doesn't like her because she's
doesn't like
white.
her because of her culture.
Feels like. So she feels like she received a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Whilst she was in hospital.
A GoFundMe.
Because she was in hospital with a terminal illness. So we can only guess what that is.
Well. 6 months diagnosis with terminal illness, meaning she's going to die soon. That is what a terminal illness is, unless she's cured.
5k was raised for this.
I'm assuming that was money to help the family continue while the wife was in hospital, because they don't have free NHS care.
No. But mother-in-law is suggesting
the mother-in-law
that she
hates this girl.
Has spent this money all on herself. Whilst in hospital.
Yeah, so the mother-in-law clearly doesn't like her at all. And has a real issue.
But the mad thing is, she said like she's not going to help with the SUV. Fine, but her son still needs that truck.
Yeah, for work.
And she's still declining.
Then like, that's it. There's nothing to do, babe. If she won't do it, she won't do it. Maybe this girl does ask her parents to co-sign. There's nothing they can do. If the mum won't sign, the mum won't sign, babe.
It's just silly that she's being so... It's a bit petty, isn't it?
It's sad, really. It's sad, really, because there are grandchildren, but she doesn't even like her grandchildren. I'm assuming that is because of the mum. But I just feel like these mum-in-laws are just going to be missing out on so much from their grandchildren. And they're just, like, carrying on generational hate. Isn't it?
I mean, the whole rich parents thing.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with it. But, you know, then they're going to get to a point and they're not going to ask.
She said her parents are retired, living in a 2-bedroom condo. What's a condo? It's like a caravan thing, isn't it?
No.
Well,
a condo would be like a 2-bed house. Yeah, I don't think they're rich, but I think in the mum-in-law's eyes, they're rich. The whole thing is pathetic. What's the top comment say?
It is really petty, isn't it? Top comment says, time to get one vehicle and move away. You deserve better than her in your life. OP replies, says, I'm literally looking at a different city right now. I would rather be with my rich parents, far away from that lady. And then they reply saying, pretty sad. Her need to hate is greater than her love for her son. And then OP replies again saying, yep, 100%. And she loves and respects her grandchildren so much, but doesn't respect their mother. Like, get real, lady.
This is what I'm saying. Like, so now her son and daughter-in-law are going to move far away, and she's not going to be part of their lives. And then that's a whole new thing she can complain about and hate her for. Mm-hmm. When actually she won't see that she's created this, because they were there, but you have made out like she's an evil, like your daughter-in-law's an evil person, and you're ruining it all. It's sad, really.
It is sad.
Every time I have a Coke, I'm like,
nuts.
Yeah, it's sad. It's gone off again.
Yes, but it's alright.
Right. Post-traumatic mother-in-law disorder.
Okay.
Anyone else had post-traumatic mother-in-law disorder? I quite liked it. Every time someone mentions my mother-in-law or I see something that reminds me of her, I get visual reaction, like my chest tightens and I feel on the verge of a anxiety attack. Even watching a show or movie that talks about the importance of mothers sets me off, because that's literally her whole guilt tripping my husband for defending me by playing the "but I'm your mother and mothers should always come first" card on repeat. For context, my mother-in-law has spent my entire marriage disrespecting me. Let me read that again. Mother-in-law has spent my entire marriage disrespecting me, making cruel comments and about my weight and my struggle to conceive, acting jealous of my relationship with my husband and vocalizing it, and even lying about having cancer for sympathy. When we finally went no contact, she escalated by spreading lies about us, making false abuse allegations against my husband, and even turning my extended family against him to the point where his life was threatened. We've been completely no contact for months now, but I feel like I have PTSD from the whole experience. Even though she's out of our lives, it's like my body still reacts as if she's right there. Anybody else relate? How do you actually move past this when the damage is already done?
I mean, that sounds about right, really, and that's the sort of reaction you have to any sort of trauma. It doesn't matter who has caused that trauma.
I think it's the unpredictability of not knowing what's going to come next.
Yeah, because that sort of behaviour you don't expect from somebody who should love you.
Meant to love you, yeah. I do like.
That's.
I mean, for me, for so many years, I was happy to keep talking to Paul's mum and dad anytime that they stopped talking. Mm-hmm. But now, after the last incident, never again. So, not just for me, for him as well. Do you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes enough is enough, but this is on a whole nother level, mm-hmm. where she's basically going to get her son hurt. What kind of
she's all right with it.
Yeah, but I hope that they went to the police and...
Yeah, I hope so too.
Because people shouldn't really get away with that.
Mm-mm.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't specifically say, but the top comment does say, mine is deceased now, but I've been following this subreddit so I can communicate with you all, and I still feel that reaction too, meaning so she's just saying, yeah, she understands. I'm going to go to the second comment. My mother-in-law I can compare to many of these stories, and even though we're on the road to redemption, when my husband mentions her, the body doesn't forget the nonsense that she has put us through, I'm afraid. In my situation, I just take a minute before I respond, because it's just me reacting and not actually her being a problem for once. So that's long-lasting effects.
Yeah.
I mean...
Of course it does. Like, I can relate to it.
It's an abusive relationship at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't. That's what I mean. It doesn't matter who the actual person is.
Yeah.
It's someone who should have had your backs. It's someone, even if you didn't get on with their partner, you'd still expect them to turn up for you. You know.
Yeah. Oh, but I do. I can understand that. I can understand that with a parent-in-law, with any of it, because mm-hmm. these people are meant to love, care, and be in your life. You're meant to form and bond in a relationship, and then you've got someone that's crazy. Just is like, it's mental, really, isn't it?
Yeah, she sounds like one of those, like, yeah, would allow something really bad to happen and be like, ha. Deserve it.
Or
deserve it.
Something bad happens, she goes, what about me? Like one of those, do you know what I mean? What about me? What about you? I don't really understand. If nothing else comes of everything that's happened, like in your life and mine, I really hope that when my children marry, whether that's women, men, whatever, I don't really care, that my daughters or son-in-law, whatever it may be, don't hate me.
Yeah.
That's it. Just like, you know, I don't need to be the favourite. I need to be the favourite. But I don't need to be the favourite. But I just don't want them to be like, oh my God, we're going around your mum's. Like, I don't want that. And I hope that as friends, you'll all keep me in check.
Yeah.
I think that any daughter-in-law's got more to worry about with you lot than anything else.
What?
Well, can you imagine if they do something to one of the boys? To be fair, Alfie's first girlfriend, she was wonderful. Was she from Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
And her mum and dad were not happy that Alfie was white. So that kind of ended because Alfie was like, I'm nobody's secret, which I think is great. I think I raised them to be who they are, and that's great. But I was gutted. I mean, she would have been perfect. I loved her to bits. I was like, I love you. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't think there'll be many for Alfie. I think Harry will have many girlfriends.
Frig.
And I think that your eldest will settle down with a really, you know, with the one.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have
And
many,
then the youngest will be, got this one this week. Look who I found.
Although, I don't know, obviously Valentine's is coming up, and he was like, he's got quite a lot of girlfriends at school.
Yeah.
And he's like, this so-and-so's asked Bella to be their Valentine. I'm like, oh, how do you feel about that? Because him and Bella have like from like day dot been.
We're
like,
talking about
best
number
friends.
2, aren't we? Baby number 2, yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, are you going to ask her? She's going, no. Oh my God. I ain't going to ask her.
Oh my God.
I ain't going to ask her. I said, well, who are you going to ask? I ain't asking nobody.
Did you ask anybody in school?
What, to be my Valentine?
Yeah, I didn't.
No, it's just cringy, isn't it?
Yeah, but was it cringy when we were young?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I was really fancied either, to be honest. I don't remember you boys being like, oh, Ellie. I get a bit more now, but I wear a lot of makeup for that. Do you know what I mean? But at school, I don't feel like anyone was like, Ellie. Went out to Devon.
Let's move on
He
now.
was my Valentine.
I'm going to move on real swiftly now. My fiance wants me to just move on from everything his mum did during wedding planning, but I'm struggling.
I was going to say to you, which one shall I read? And you've just made that easy.
Not this one.
No. But yeah, I've read that one. It's great.
Yeah.
Go on.
For content, my mother-in-law has been a nightmare when it comes to my wedding. She's thrown tantrums, tried to take control of decisions that weren't hers to make, and made the entire planning process way more stressful than it needed to be.
She's putting her finger in my hole.
Immature.
That was quite a good noise.
Oh, where did I get to?
I don't know, but we need to grow up.
Need to be. Right. She acts like it was her wedding, not mine, and when she didn't get her way, she would guilt trip, manipulate, or even get outright nasty about it. Between all the drama, the tantrums, her constant need to control everything. Oh my God, what's wrong with my face? Her constant need to control everything, we lost so much time in the planning process. Now I only have 4 months left, and I'm still scrambling to hire a photographer, a videographer, and a florist. I feel so behind, and the stress is overwhelming. It's only been about a month since she finally backed off, and now my fiance is acting like I should just move on and pretend none of it happened. She wants me to go to visit her, hang out like nothing's wrong, and just let it go. The thing is, I can't just erase everything overnight. She put me through so much, and I don't feel like I should have to force myself to be okay with someone who disrespected me so much. Now my fiance and I are having issues because of this. He just wants peace, but I feel like the peace is only possible if I ignore everything that happened and sweep my feelings under the rug. Am I wrong for not being able to just get over it like he wants me to?
I don't think she's wrong, but because it sounds right. So it's to me, when I read it, I feel like they had a great relationship, and then when it came to wedding planning, the mum-in-law lost their heads and became a bit of a mother-in-law zilla, right? And then she was told, get back in your box, mate, because we're not doing it your way. This is the concept that I got from it. So including from her son and the daughter-in-law were like, no, she feels like she's lost time, and then they're picking it back up. I feel like in this circumstance, if it was me, I'd say, listen, because I can't move on unless we talk. Yeah. I'd be like, listen, that got me down. Let's never do that again. If you feel like something and I tell you no, that's got to be where it ends, especially if we're going to have children in the future. But I feel like the mother-in-law in this case deserves second chance.
Yeah, I feel like... I've
literally not said that about any other story.
Say how you feel. You know, there's no real love lost here.
No.
It's just maybe through excitement, maybe through...
Maybe she's only got sons.
Maybe not even realising she's just got out of control herself.
Right.
And then has in her head she's like, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah.
And no one's actually setting her right.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for your help, but this is really what we want.
Yeah. It's giving carried away to me. That's where my mind went.
Yeah.
What does Reddit think?
Well,
burn her with fire.
Yeah, a little bit. He's showing you what the rest of your life is going to look like, because your mother-in-law isn't going to be like this over the wedding planning and then never again. She's going to be like this when it comes to family holidays, or if you guys have kids, and his response will be the same. He'll expect you to rug sweep your mother-in-law's controlling, toxic behaviour for the sake of peace, which means that your boundaries will be stomped and your feelings will be hurt and ignored. You need to sort this out with him ASAP. He needs to have your back before you get married.
Read what I can see that she's written back.
Yeah.
So go straight into what she said.
This is exactly what I'm afraid of, and I've brought up all these concerns to him. We ended up in a huge fight, and his response was, she's old, you need to just move on and get over it. She's apologised. Why can't you just be okay with things? First of all, 55 is not old. That's not an excuse for her behaviour. Honestly, I think she's incredibly manipulative and calculating. She knows exactly what she's doing. We've repeatedly asked her to stop interfering with the wedding, yet she keeps pushing. She's crying and screaming in public, and at this point I genuinely think my fiance is afraid of her. I never expected to be in this situation, and it's honestly horrible. I don't know what to do. That sort of flipped it a little bit.
A little bit, but at the same time, when she done the original story, she said she stopped now, apologised, like it's done. Like that is the concept that she has moved forward for. And even there, she said she's going into what's happened. I still land on the give her another chance. I hope it's not the rest of her life, but sometimes, I don't know. This is a difficult one.
Like, is this a case of
she's lost herself out of the excitement?
Maybe OP needs to actually grow a little bit of a backbone. I hate using that.
Yeah.
And go, okay, but I will tell her how I feel.
Yeah.
And then we will move on. She will not come at me for it.
I think that's fair. I think,
and then we will move on.
Yeah, because even with Paul's family, every time something happens...
I mean, sometimes that's really tiring, that you have to explain to someone how they...
But
are acting.
For me, it's very important that if you've pissed me off, whether I'm right or wrong that you pissed me off, you piss me off, I need to tell you whether we agree
But
to
husband
disagree.
also needs to grow a bit of a backbone
Right.
and support her.
Right, but you know, that's what I'm saying. It's very hard to look in on a relationship where she has stated this happened, it's never happened before. Is it, and will it happen again? Who can answer that? Generally, if you've got that kind of mum-in-law, you've got that kind of mum-in-law. You just have to decide. But let me tell you, there are more mum-in-laws like this than there are any other mum-in-laws. It's very rare you get the gold dust.
I think there's an element with mum-in-laws, the sons,
Yeah,
mum,
yeah.
that she's losing her child.
I mean, yeah, I get that. We are both mothers to boys, babe, and I get that. Do you know what I mean? I understand that, but at the same time, I think
These are
she's gone
really
crazy.
harsh.
She hasn't got her own way. It's
So
backfired.
harsh.
The son, the daughter-in-law have been like, no, and then that's it. They're like, wind your fucking neck in.
I don't know whether the son has been.
That's what I mean.
As
So from
straight with that.
from the information I've got, I'm gonna say sit down, have a chat, and then you'll know whether you can move on or not. And then that you've set the bar by doing that. You've set the bar to say if you do it again or anything, I am definitely going to confront you, because that is how I.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Deal with the situation.
I don't like that husband has been like, she's old, let her be.
But you know, like, I mean, not sticking up for him, but definitely a man thing is they just want an easy life, babe. You know, like for me with Paul's mate, anytime anything happened, I'd have to talk about it, and he'd be like,
I feel like these people are saying,
well.
get out. Like, these people
Yeah,
are just
no,
like,
they are.
get out.
It's because of if you read the Reddit
Yeah,
thread,
this
it's
bit.
the never-ending
You need
stories.
to ask yourself if this relationship is worth dealing with her for the next 20 to 30 years.
That's what I'm saying.
And even if your answer is yes, you need to do couples counselling ASAP to help you both navigate the issues between the big one that isn't going away. Because 55 isn't old.
It's
and
not.
even if it was, age isn't an excuse for shitty behaviour. Mate, like, I feel like all these people responding, I'm like, run away! Get out, run! Save yourself!
There's nothing to say she wouldn't find someone else with exactly the same issues, because they
No.
are more common than not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which is a weird thing. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah.
Right, so this did get a bit confusing to me, but hopefully it will make more sense the second time I read it. But it was so good in places I was like, I have to read it.
Okay.
Mother-in-law from hell. She did witchcraft on me. Did you save it?
Yes! Go on.
I honestly feel like I'm losing my mind and I don't know what to do. My boyfriend and I have been dating for over a year and things went well. When I met his parents at first, his mother is obsessed with Reiki and spirituality. And at first I didn't make much of it. One day I came over the house and I kept getting uncomfortable feeling when I went to give her a hug. Sort of like something was holding me back and telling me not to do it. I began having really weird dreams of her smiling in creepy ways. I would wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning with my heart racing. I told my boyfriend this and it turned into a huge fight. Given that she is into spirituality, the first thing I thought of was this could be witchcraft. I went to a psychic medium and my suspicions was correct. I almost broke up with my boyfriend at this time, but I tried to put it aside, our differences, for the sake of our relationship. Throughout the relationship, she has made comments to me that really sent me over the edge. One time I walked into the house and she stated that she felt like I had bad energy to me, and then she told me to wait outside the house for an hour while she saged and then I could come back in. Last time I checked, I wasn't a dog, so I took my happy self to the car and left that place. Of course my boyfriend didn't say anything. Another time she was mentioning to me how her husband's mother couldn't stand her and how she was constant conflict between them both. Hold on, just lost myself. I stated how I was so sorry that she had to go through so much difficulty during this period of time, and her son burst out laughing. I asked what was so funny, and she goes, "It's like the only thing you know how to say. You're constantly apologising." I feel like whenever my boyfriend and I are alone, somehow she's in the room with us. It's weird. I can't really explain it. I'm not sure if my parents didn't love me properly, but the relationship between those two seem almost like they're flirting. It's creeping me out. I am seeing a therapist about this because a part of me thinks I could be suffering from some sort of mental illness. At the same time, I had an ex-boyfriend in the past who I had been having constant dreams of him having another family. I got a bad feeling in my chest similar to the one that I feel about my current boyfriend's mother, and hired a private investigator. To my surprise, I was right. My dream shows him with 2 little girls, and the private investigator discovered the Facebook under a different name with 2 little girls and his cover photo of him kissing his wife. My friends joke about me having the gift, so a part of me thinks I could be right, or could I be insane? I hate it.
Get out.
Really?
Always listen to your gut.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stress that enough. Nobody listens to their gut.
No.
But every time the inevitable happens, you go, I knew that. My gut said, follow your instincts, girl. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Get out. There is something very weird and creepy and wrong.
I don't think it's the witchcraft. She can't really slag off witchcraft and then go and see a psychic medium. That was weird. I don't
think she was slagging it off. I think she was like,
she thinks the mummy-in-law's put a curse on her.
Voodoo shit on her.
Yeah. And she might well have done. But I agree in the sense that this relationship is not going to work. I definitely believe her when she's like, I see it in my dreams, because we all know I have the same thing. It's not that I see it. It's like I know. I can't. It's very hard to explain, but I understand what she means. Top comment. I'm not
Save yourself.
And that's from Emily. Yeah. I'm not trying to talk mess on that stuff, but it sounds like she has chased such deep anxiety in your relationship that you are having religious delusions. Speak to a licensed therapy instead of someone claiming that they're a psychic.
I love everybody that's like, therapy!
Yeah. It doesn't sound like a hex, like she has hexed you. It sounds like you are having stress-induced nightmares that are showing you all of the thoughts you have about your mother-in-law, strange together and in a terrifying way. She hasn't cast anything to constantly be in the room. She has wormed her way into your head with her comments, and they persist to follow you around. I'm trying to see if the OP has said it. Someone said this only because the OP responded. Someone went, "You're both crazy." The OP went, "I feel you." I don't think she's crazy.
No.
But I don't think this is healthy. She doesn't respond to anyone else at all. Somebody said, you have gut feelings and your instincts for a reason.
Yeah.
They say, right, so I've read something that's like, you're not supposed to cut your hair, because your hair is your natural way of telling you what is good and what is bad. And the primal part of the brain, so when you meet someone, it's your primal brain that tells you within 8 seconds whether someone's a good or a bad person, because the primal brain is survival first. right, more than anything. So when you meet someone and you get that bad feeling, that is your primal brain telling you this person is danger.
We know this
run the fuck away, which is fascinating. That this girl is having this about her mother-in-law, and I think,
and everyone's like, you're crazy.
I don't think she's crazy. I don't think she's crazy. I don't think that the mum-in-law has put a hex on her, but I also do believe in stuff like that, so I'm not going to say not definitely. I think cleanse your aura, give yourself a get some sage, cleanse your area, and stay the fuck away from the lot of them. She stated that the son and the mum, it feels like they're in a relationship. You ever watched that film from... Fucking, I was so young. Have you ever watched Charmed?
No. Charmed? No, I don't think so.
What?
What's Charmed?
The fuck? The Three Witches. It doesn't matter.
Has it got Sandra Bullock in it?
No. Anyway, so in Charm there is an actor. His name is Leo in the Thingybob. He did a film years ago where the mother and son were like a different species, and he'd get the girls, and then they both suck the soul out of it. That's what it's giving. Charmed is the three: Phoebe, Piper, Paige. No. Prudence. No, I can't believe you're gonna have to borrow the box set. I mean, you have not lived.
Box set.
It is fucking awesome. Anyway, yeah. So I believe in stuff like that. I think she should do what you said. Stick with whatever's going. Her mind's telling her something for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sixth sense is yeah. We have that, and for whatever reason, as adults, we seem to really
ignore it
and push it down deep, as if it's just a funny feeling, and actually it really isn't.
It's like you're trying to convince yourself all the time that you're not going mad.
It's like touching something or seeing something or tasting something or smelling. It is exactly one of those feelings. It is. It's like it's a sinking real. It's a sinking feeling. It's so real, and you need to trust it.
It's funny because it often happens. People are like, oh my God, you're going to love them. And I'm like, nope. Like straight away, the minute I meet them, nope, that's a no from me. And I know, and then that's it. Like, I'm like, no, there's something wrong with that person. Sure, people have it about us. Love it.
What?
Yeah.
It's rude.
What, me and you?
Who, us?
Yes.
No.
100%. Right, take us home.
Alright,
You're like,
I'm between that one or
give me the titles and I'll choose.
Alright, so my mother-in-law lost her mind at me.
Right.
Mother-in-law babysitting.
Right.
And mother-in-law thinks she's my mum.
I want the babysitting.
And I'm close to cutting my mother-in-law out of my life.
With a knife.
I like that.
I want the babysitting one, because I see the title and I didn't read it.
Okay. Let me just zoom in there.
We can't see it.
A little zoomy zoom.
A little zoom.
Right. Mother-in-law babysitting. I'm currently 33 weeks pregnant, and I can't help but overthink what will happen when I return to work and have to leave my baby girl with either of her grandmothers.
Been there.
Either of her grandmothers.
Been there.
I trust my mum with my whole heart. She was maternity nurse who specialised in infant care. She gives me great advice and has always looked after every child in our family. On the other hand, my mother-in-law has only raised her 2 children, babysat an older toddler niece probably 5 times, and unfortunately doesn't give me the best advice during my pregnancy, like lay on my back on the couch, feet on the wall and head touching the floor to relieve nausea. Like, girl, what? Anyway, sometimes she'll talk about the future when she'll babysit and how I'll come pick up my daughter and her head will be shaved because it will grow her hair better.
I know what she's talking about. It's a culture thing.
I've discussed with her several times in not doing that. She's also mentioned her disagreements with safe sleeping and how nothing happens. I'm very committed to safe sleeping, or convincing my husband not to change any diaper because he's a man. Huh?
Okay.
I feel like this mum's outdated and I can't cope with her.
She's
already.
a bit crazy, yeah.
Just yesterday, my husband's brother came down from Colorado.
Colorado?
Here to Cali with his small family, and my mother-in-law was so eager to take care of the 9-month-old. The baby was fussed and she gave her an entire grape to chew on.
Oh.
Her mum and I quickly got up because it's a choking hazard, but she didn't seem to understand. Was very stubborn and salty about the situation because her kids turned out fine. She even mentioned she would give her babies shrimp. I've told my husband about my anxiety. He agrees and will try to talk to his mother when the time is near. But I feel like this woman is so stubborn. I'm scared that she'll do something dangerous to my baby to prove to me that nothing will happen, and I'm an overreacting first-time mum. I'm really struggling with how to approach my mother-in-law. I feel like I'm being pushed to that point. I don't want to keep asking my husband or my mum for help to talk to her, but it feels like she's just waiting for me to react in a way that proves I'm overreacting. Like she wants to see me upset for her own satisfaction. Her stubbornness is really overwhelming. I just don't know how to get through to her. Why does she have to be so resistant to what I'm saying? I just want her to respect my boundaries and the choices I'm making for my baby. So yeah, I can't really see myself leaving her, my baby, like she would like. It's hard because I want my child to have that connection with both grandmas. Do I have literally yell or cuss? Do I have to literally yell and cuss? I've never been the person to be disrespectful.
I think that no matter how the mum-in-law feels, or any mother-in-law, mum, grandmother, I think it is not their take to disrespect and go against what the mother wants.
Mm-hmm.
If she wants something a certain way, then that is exactly how it should be done.
It doesn't matter how
it doesn't.
she brought up
and if
her
you're
child.
not right, and if you're not happy with that as the mum-in-law or say grandmother, then you don't have to babysit. There will be ways.
You have to. You won't.
Exactly. I mean, I get that the anxiety, because I had massive anxiety leaving the boys with anybody. I understand the anxiety, and you're parenting your way, and there's nothing wrong with that. I definitely asked both, mothers for advice on certain occasions, but I definitely parented the way I wanted to parent, and my rules were my rules. Not that they were really left with them, but you get my point. My rules were my rules. Like, this is how I do it. Can you please try and stick to the schedule and how I like to do it? And I think that if someone can't respect that, then that's the first and last time you'll have the privilege. I mean, what would she do? Shave her fucking hair off and then send her home?
Well, laugh in the mum's face.
Probably. I told you it'd grow back better. It doesn't. I mean, listen, I shaved both the boys. Whether I had girls, boys, I'd shave. But it's a personal preference as a mother to do what you want to do with your child. Nobody has the right to do whatever they want with your child, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's quite a sad situation because their anxiety is only going to get worse.
Yeah.
I'm glad the husband's supportive though.
Yeah. Needs to be.
It needs to be.
It's
not easy being a first time mum. It really isn't.
No.
It comes with a lot of anxiety and
and a lot of people want to give their points of view and
Of
their
course.
advice and how they did it and how their kids were brought up fine.
I think we need to think about that this anxiety can quickly swap to post-traumatic what is the thing I'm looking for? You know, where they get
Yes.
the sickness. It's postpartum depression. So, you know, let's not stress new mums out, for God's sake.
Yeah, there's no need.
What does the comment say?
She doesn't sound like a safe babysitting option. After the great incident, there would be no way in hell my baby would be alone with her. Threatening to do things to my child I've said no to as a parent, especially pertaining to her safety, is a deal breaker. My parents have done less and are constantly supervised during visits at my home. I don't visit them with my children. Firstly, breastfeed if you can. That way there will be no pushing for overnights. You can dance around politely.
Yeah.
Every time she suggests she can look after your child, but really there's no way to get around hard feelings when it comes to ensuring the safety of your child. Things will come to a head eventually. Tell your SO there is no way she's babysitting, and she can either deal with it or you will, and the truth won't get in the way of hurting feelings or
There you go.
entitlement.
I mean, the great thing, I still cut up grapes. It scared me seeing this whole grape thing when I was a new mum.
Mm-hmm.
I'd still cut up grapes, and I'm talking 18 and 16. I still cut them.
I mean, I don't cut them with Cassian anymore, and that's because he doesn't put the whole thing in his mouth. He nibbles them.
No, I
So
cut
it
in half.
doesn't worry me, like long ways.
Yeah.
I used to always do it long ways.
Yeah.
But it doesn't worry me so much anymore.
Like, I'm like
But
a lunatic in my head all the time. I think the worst all the time. It's exhausting.
yeah. I mean, I do resonate with this one a little bit.
So do
just
I.
because obviously generations are different and stuff, aren't they? So I remember,
I just think it's a respect thing. Do you know what I mean? And I hope that when we're grandmothers, we're respectful of their feelings. Because my way wasn't necessarily the right way.
no,
It was just how I did it, and I'm going to have to respect.
yeah. I mean, the boy's dad's mum put alcohol on her finger and put it in my eldest's mouth, and I was like, yeah, don't do that again.
On the gums.
And she sort of laughed at me, and she did it again. Like, there was a second time, and I had to tell
I rubbed
him
I
that
rubbed on my boy's gums. I was alright with that one.
yeah, I wasn't all right with the
fine.
fact that she smoked cigarettes and her fingers were yellow, and that she has put them in my child's mouth
Nice, fair play.
with alcohol
Yeah.
and nicotine. Do you
Yeah,
know,
I
I'm
get
like-
it. I get
But
it.
equally, don't put your hands in my child's mouth.
Yeah. I
Full
get
stop.
that as well.
Like, I'm not
I
okay
was
with that.
big on the don't kiss my child on the mouth, especially if you've got herpes.
Mm-hmm. What was the other thing she did? I don't know. She told me that I smothered him too much.
Oh, I got all that as well. I'm creating
But
a rod for my own back.
At that point, she was quite poorly, and actually all I was trying to do was stop her body hurting from him crying.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually trying to be good.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Backfired.
it massively.
Yeah.
Massively.
No, I got told that I mollycoddles, but I was alright with that. I was like, yeah, I definitely do, 100%.
See, I didn't feel like I did. I just felt like I was trying to save
Pain.
the pain that I get when he cried. Went through my bones,
I didn't like
going through her
I didn't like
fragile
mine
body.
crying. Like, it affected me when mine cried. I was like, we cry for, like, relax.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. Right. We're like, right, thank you for joining, everyone. Until next time, like, follow, and
Subscribe.
that's it, babe.
Yeah.
You
And
gonna-
don't be entitled.
Yeah, like, relax.
Come on, mother-in-laws.
Oh, my legs. Every time.
Do better.
Oh.
Wow. What do you think of that? I think. What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything that she